on Curiosity Stream. He allows them their riches.
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
In exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
All right, we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast the Red Bull stunt team. The one time I went skydiving, a lot of those guys we went skydiving with, part of the Red Bull stunt team. I don't think they're a part of this particular story, but I'm telling you, these guys are good at what they do. And over this past weekend in Arizona, the Red Bull team, they live streamed their stunt air show on Hulu. All right. But the big stunt, right? The big finale, the big feature, it featured two pilots on separate aircraft skydiving into each other's planes, leaving each aircraft pilotless for less than a minute. You follow what's going on? So
it's a big deal.
Two planes, two pilots, each one of them are skydivers. So the idea was there's two single-engine Cessnas. They fly at about 14,000 feet. Then they drop into nosedives in close formation. And by 4,000 feet, each pilot/skydiver would reach the other person's plane safely and then land them. You got me? So you start at 14,000 feet.
Then you get out of the plane.
We go into a nosedive first. The pilots jump out of these frickin' planes, and the idea is we both skate into each other's plane. We've exchanged pilots. We pull up at about 4,000 feet and then land a plane. So that's the big thing. It's been live stream on Hulu. Well, 50% of that happened. One pilot was successful. The other completely whiffed, and sure, he safely parachuted to the ground, but the plane crashed. Now, we're not toasting them for the failure of it. We're toasting them because the FAA had denied their request to even perform the stunt. They reached out and said, this is our air show. This is what we want to do. All of their practices have been successful. Each of these guys have thousands of hours of skydiving time. They're not chumps, man. This is what they do. But the FAA said, man, do not do that. We do not give you permission to do that. But they did it anyway, and they did it on a Hulu live stream. The FAA has not said what the punishment will be just yet, but like Mike pointed out, Red Bull has a lot of money. Hulu's owned by Disney, who has a lot of money. I suspect it's going to be a heavy financial, but it's the whole thing.
I saw the ads for it. It looked awesome.
It's like being a parent. You tell your kids, going out of town, do not throw a party. Then your kids throw a party, and not only do they throw a party, but like your curtains burned, right?
Oh, they burn the house down.
Right, it's that kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, have fun with that. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Fox. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. Fox, is that 2 X's or 3?
Just the one, actually.
Gotcha.
Oh, all right.
He's like NC-17, Fox. All right, Fox, you understand how this here game is played.
Yeah, if you explain the rules again, that'd be great. No, I'm joking.
Well, you have the wonderful world of drugs. You have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Drugs.
Yeah. Drugs it is. All right, here is your story. If you order a plate of nachos with the works, there could be a ton of stuff on them. Beans, cheese, tomatoes, onions, cilantro, sour cream, maybe even drugs. Well, a couple in San Antonio, they claim they ordered a plate of nachos from a place called Chacho's, and they found something hard in their sour cream. Well, it turned out to be drugs. The couple wants the restaurant investigated to figure out how it happened. Chacho says they already had the health department look into it, and they determined that it's unlikely that the drug was introduced to the food at the restaurant, which is ridiculous. In any event, Chacho says they'd like to keep the couple as customers. They've offered them $10 off, but the couple has not responded. Now, the question is, what drug did the couple find in their sour cream? By the way, side note, I don't know why they're bitching. Was it Oxycontin, Vicodin, meth, or Xanax? So Oxy, Vikes, meth, or Xanax. One of these drugs was in the sour cream of their nachos from Chacho's.
I mean, they're all like white-based, right?
Yeah, basically. Hence it's hidden in the sour cream.
Yeah. I feel like Oxidant, I don't know. I think prescription drugs come in different colors sometimes.
They do. If for whatever reason, I'm tracking them a fox here. All of them are just white. The pill disappears into the sour cream. Bite into it.
What was it? Oxy, Vicodin, meth, and what?
Xanax.
Oxy, Vicodin, meth, or Xanax.
Where was this?
I would probably go with the one powder, I guess. I know the pills can be like powder and smoke, but I would go with the actual powder, right? Meth is powder, right?
Well, it depends on the quality.
You tell me,
Sometimes
you
it's
tell me,
charged.
Fox.
That's why they call it ice.
For legal purposes, I would not answer that.
Okay.
And it was in San Antonio.
There you go.
San Antonio.
Well, the other ones have to be, crushed up, and I don't know. I would just go with meth with the whole, like, just the more incidental. Like, it's harder to, like, misplace pills and versus meth. Right? I don't know.
Okay.
See, I'm thinking maybe it's not too druggy. Dude or woman just having a long shift, had a rough night. They go to take a Xanax. They drop it in the sour cream.
So, Ted, you're going Xanax.
Going Xanax.
I'm going the other way. I'm going Vicodin.
I've lived with pill addicts before, and they are very, very serious about their pills versus, like, I know drugs are drugs, but I mean...
I got you. Okay. Pills cost a lot more.
What was in the nachos? What was in the sour cream? Was it Oxys, Vicodin, meth, or Xanax? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
All right. Category Strikes on profile. That's a couple ordered a plate of nachos. Who doesn't like nachos?
For Chacho's.
They're one of the few shareable foods. You order them, even if they're for you, everyone's in.
You ever ordered nachos just for you, though?
I've seen it. I told you.
I've seen it as well, but I never would think that that's possible. I just figured it's a shareable plate.
It is, but like I said, so they're somebody very quickly was just like, hey, they're just eating nachos.
You told me. I know who they are.
I was like, all right, my bad.
But unfortunately, they found something hard in their sour cream, and that happened to be drugs.
Yes.
The question is, was it Oxy, Vicodin, meth, or Xanax?
And Fox, that is the very question that we posed to you. You went with the old methamphetamine. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Hey, look, meth is always a solid guess for drug use in the United States. However, in this case, it was not meth. Ted, you went Xanax.
I did.
Sorry, it is not Xanax. And Miles, you went Vicodin.
Here we go, 50-50. Yeah,
all right.
Oh, that's where I store my sour cream. Vicodin in the sour cream.
Yeah, a dollop a daisy.
Look at I like the tubes better now. I moved away from the little container. Now I'm in that.
tube's great. Yeah.
Toothpaste.
The squeezable tube?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Toothpaste was ahead of the curve, was it not?
It was. Now for all TV news all the time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the men's room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today, you got the Jimmys,
Kimmel Fallon.
you got Seth Meyers,
Okay.
Writers,
Ooh.
or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It's right there, the titles. All these guys have teams of talented writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. So it's up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
The owners of J.C. Penney's have offered to buy Kohl's for $8.6 billion. Meanwhile, Best Buy is calling up Radio Shack like, hey, you up?
Fallon. Yes, that's Fallon-ish.
Yeah, that's fine.
The owners of JCPenney have offered to buy Kohl's for $8.6 billion. Meanwhile, Best Buy is calling up Radio Shack like, you up?
Told you, the Radio Shack I used to go to as a kid is now a liquor store and like a little bar in the back.
Things have gotten so much better.
They call it a bistro. It's to their credit, it's good.
Okay. Would you like a Tandy? It's a new drink.
Yes.
Over the weekend, yet another animal protester tried to get on the court at an NBA basketball game between the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies. I think someone should tell the animal activists that the animals in the NBA arena are just nicknames.
Ted Smith.
Yeah, that's right. Did you see that security guard tackle her?
Quickly. Yeah. Quickly.
Oh, man.
He was eyeing her the whole way.
Firefighters in Washington State last week rescued a woman after she fell headfirst into an outhouse toilet trying to receive her cell phone, which is crazy because it was an Android.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah, it's sad.
Firefighters in Washington State last week rescued a woman after she fell headfirst into an outhouse toilet trying to retrieve her cell phone, which is crazy because it was an Android.
I'm an Android guy and proud of it. Tired of you iPhone people.
Yeah. How about TV?
What's that?
What's your brand of TV?
Samsung.
Yeah, me too.
Right there with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anyone.
I don't know that I've owned another brand of a TV.
There's no other side. It's just,
They're affordable. It's good.
That's why I trust them with all my screens.
Yeah.
However, do not buy their dishwashers.
Or the refrigerators. Holy cow. Okay, we found one. Their appliances suck.
Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 million. He now owns SpaceX and Twitter. It's like he's thinking, I've seen the heavens and now on to hell.
Foul. Yeah, foul.
Yeah, it's foul.
Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion. Yep. He now owns SpaceX and Twitter. It's like Musk is thinking, I've seen the heavens, now on to hell.
Yeah, people are all riled up about that one, for sure.
Especially on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing about social media. It's like if Facebook goes down, then all these people pop up on Twitter bitching about Facebook. No one on Twitter cares.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. What the hell did I do with that? Sorry, I just misplaced the first store I was going to do. Oh, there we are. All right, so Bad Barbie. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
All right. Bad Barbie is her rap name.
Okay.
You would know her more as, what's her actual name? Like Danielle something. Danielle Brigoli? Yeah. Anyhow, she's the Catch Me Outside. From Dr. Phil, right?
Just say that.
Yeah, like Catch Me Outside. How about that? Or Cash Me Outside as it became named.
Yes, Cash Me.
But she's a rapper and a social media star under the name Bad Barbie. Miles, how do you think she spells Bad Barbie?
I'll say 2 D's on the bad.
I was thinking that.
Nope.
Okay, so I don't know then.
BHAD, bad.
Oh, okay.
Barbie, BHABIE.
That's how she gets them.
Yeah. So
Silent
I will say this: it was kind of crazy when you look back at that show. Right, she was 13, so I think now she's like 18 or 19. I mean, she's not very old, but she's also super rich now. She's social media, this and that. She bragged that she made $50 million on her OnlyFans.
Damn.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
What did she do on her OnlyFans to make that much money?
I don't know, but we should check it out.
Yeah, so a lot of people were like, we don't believe you, this and that. So she posted some information, like, yeah, she grossed about $53 million and cleared $43 million after giving OnlyFans their cut. And then in the caption, she said, cry about it, bitch.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I guess
she stays true.
You know what? She was right the entire time. She was right. Whether you agree with her and her attitude and everything else, she was right. Mm-hmm. She played it right, and she capitalized right. Whether you think she's nuts or whatever, she...
Make your money.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only difference is she started out on that show because the parents were like, my 13-year-old's out of control and crazy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that she had this planned out. I could be wrong.
Well, she played it right.
She played it right. She got the hand she was dealt and went for it. But
she
also
doesn't strike me as a planner. Yeah.
Well,
most people at 13 are not.
No.
Fair.
Right. But also, she also, to me, is a prime example of what Florida looks like.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right? Because, I mean, she was in... Because there was a while there, right, where it was like her and there was some other, like... I call them, like, little kid rappers. Because they're, like, teenagers that are, like, barking at each other. Mm-hmm. And then also she would put out a lot of videos. People were like, oh, man, it's like, dude, that girl is only, like, 15 or 16. Like, let's, like... I don't know. I think a lot of people were viewing her stuff for the wrong reason. But now... she's over 18, 19. Like, she can do whatever she. I don't know. That's just my theory. Whether it's a little like sometimes you'll have younger artists in certain genres, right? And like, yeah, you could bring them up on stage or have them sing a few songs, right? Like there was other rappers that had dads that were rappers. I'm sure you see it right in music too. But like, I don't know, a red flag always goes off in my head when you got a 16-year-old kid making rap songs with full-grown adults, and it's a little, I don't know.
Racy.
Yeah, I guess that's the term. I hate saying that because it sounds so.
There's
old.
always been some element of that, but we go in our era. It was Brooke Shields.
Yes,
13.
Right.
She was in Blue Lagoon. I want to say there were not necessarily nude scenes.
No, they were nude.
You might have seen the guy's penis. You might have seen her a little bit underwater. But then her whole campaign was it Calvin Klein jeans?
Yeah,
correct.
She was 13 or 14. You think
she
about
was young.
Britney Spears. Yeah, they've done.
Well, Britney.
The whole idea of John Casablanca modeling agency, that was kind of a pedophilia ring in my mind.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, right, some of that stuff is just weird. And the Brooke Shields stuff, kind of bringing it back to TV, right? There's that Rob Lowe show all about the 80s.
Yeah.
Or there's that other show, like
Great
the
show.
80s, the decade that made us and everything. And right, they have a whole thing on Brooke Shields. I mean, they ended up having to pull that whole campaign down, right? Because people are like,
wait a minute.
Yeah, right? Like, all right, seems like maybe we shouldn't have that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that stuff's always weird. But to her credit, right now she's an adult. She can make all the money she wants. I will say, OnlyFans. A lot of people have OnlyFans. A lot of the OnlyFans accounts aren't actual like nudity,
Right?
But
sure, right.
They're pretty close to it. They're a little more revealing than I think maybe shots you would put on Facebook or.
Well, that's why you pay for that, I guess.
Correct.
Hence, that's why you have fans.
I mean, unfortunately, Madonna put out 4 or 5 naked pictures today on Instagram, and I was so happy that I don't have Instagram. Because that's the last thing, not that I would follow her, but that's the last thing I would want to see.
Did she really?
Yeah, she did. She really needs attention.
She does.
I mean, a lot of attention. You would think you'd be satisfied with your career. Look,
at her age,
I've done a lot. I've given away money. I've done stuff for charity. Regardless of what you think about me, I've entertained millions of people. But please look at me.
Right?
And come on, man.
We're done.
Go to Denny's. Get a Grand Slam breakfast. Just chill. Have a cup of coffee. Go and take a nap.
I don't think anything's more awkward.
God, you're a senior citizen.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, she's trying, right? I mean, she's hanging out with Kanye now. You got to get everything going.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, did you guys ever see Ted, the movie?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was really fun.
I did not.
Is that Seth Rogen, right?
That is Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane, okay.
Correct. Ted is pretty funny. Ted 2, there's some decent scenes, but, it's kind of...
It's a sequel. We get it.
So now a prequel series about the foul-mouthed teddy bear and his buddy John from Ted is coming to Peacock. Seth MacFarlane says it's also going to be called Ted. Seth obviously returned as the voice of Ted, of course. He'll also be doing the writing, director, and show running. There'll be 10 episodes. The series will take place in 1993 when Mark Wahlberg's character, John, 16 years old. Ted's moment of fame has passed, and he's living with John and his family in Boston. Basically, it's the same thing. Ted's not the best influence. Then, he'll get into some trouble. John will be played by a different character. Obviously, Wahlberg's probably not going back to do it.
He's got other things, sure.
Right, Mark Wahlberg's right. He's got a ton of stuff.
He's doing hamburgers now.
Yeah,
I've graduated to hamburgers.
Whole family.
Have you ever seen Wahlburgers?
Yeah, I saw
have not seen
one
the franchise.
episode. No, it was just. It wasn't really about.
Are you talking about the actual store or the?
No, the show.
No.
Right, so that's I was just there. Thrill just kind of said the same thing. Like, it's funny. Like, he's his brother Donnie's pretty famous too.
Right, they're both famous, but they only show up enough to remind you that they're related to the guy that legitimately you're watching.
Right, it's the other brother that does all the stuff and runs everything.
Huh.
Now, I will say this. I know a couple people that have been to a Wahlburgers, and they were like, dude, it's actually really good.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I've been to a Wahlburgers.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, there's one down in Vegas that we went to. The lady was a big fan of Wahlburgers, and so we went down there. They have I think it's the Impossible Burger that they teamed up with. She was pretty heavy vegan at the time. We gave it a shot. It was great. Loved it.
Man.
A little bit long on the wait, but honestly, for a place like Wahlburgers, you're going to wait a minute.
Sure.
You're going to wait in Vegas no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is kind of funny, too, is I think I think because their restaurant's like a fast casual, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Five Guys or any of those kind of burger joints. But yeah, it seems like, because look, as long as there's been famous people, whether it's athletes, celebrities, whatever, they always want to have restaurants.
Always.
But it seems like I remember, it seems like if you have a sit-down restaurant, you know this better than anybody, that is a very, very tough industry to get into. And like name alone will get you like kind of a pop for a year. But then you have the next couple years where you're like, you better have a good restaurant. You need people in there.
At some point, you got to earn it, right? What do they say? Like the average restaurant closes within 6 months.
Yeah.
And a lot of it because rents are high and all that kind of thing. But but that's the challenge, man. If you could even make it a year and a half before you close down.
That's the shocking thing about De Niro and Nobu.
Yeah, but
in my mind, because you look, there was Planet Hollywood for a number of years. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was in Baltimore, it was like Sylvester Stallone,
Bruce
Willis, Arnold all showed up at the Inner Harbor.
But the difference
for
is
some
this.
big thing when they did the grand opening.
But they basically did.
It was memorabilia within inside the
memorabilia Olive Garden is what they were. This is not a shot at Olive Garden. It's not that. Nobu. It's like, look, this is fine dining. And,
correct. Like you don't randomly
deliver.
like Nobu is it Nobu.
You do not go. Are you hungry? You
like they're not trying to attract the random person.
No, they don't want kids.
Right, where it's like Planet Hollywood and stuff.
Bring your kids, have fun. It's Hard Rock Cafe, man. It's all this stuff. It's Rainforest Cafe, and I get it, but yeah, Nobu is like, you're not bringing your kids here, dude. You will not spend this much money on those crumb snatchers that you call children. There's no chance, and we don't even act like. When you look at the price of a cocktail, to the credit, man, it's expensive. They deliver on the price. It is that good. It really is.
Yeah. Let's see. David Spade, he's always pretty funny. He's got a new stand-up special on Netflix tonight if you want to check that out. And then over on AMC, I know a lot of people fired up last night, but there's new episodes of Better Call Saul out as well.
Woo! Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A woman runs into the men's bathroom and stabs a man using the urinal in the butt. Not once, but twice. Meanwhile, a Florida man finds bathroom door is locked at a convenience store, so he pees in the walk-in beer cooler, which is not nice. Man finds 60-year-old bag of McDonald's in a wall doing demos, said the fries still look the same. A 7-car crash in South Carolina, and a pony on the highway is to blame. And someone just bought a 30-year-old barrel of whiskey for over $1 million.
We call them headlines.
Yeah.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
Top story, we go to Florida. Whoopsie daisy. Florida, where a man needed to relieve himself. Feeling the call of nature, the man went into a nearby convenience store about 2 miles away from his home. But his dreams were shattered when he found out the bathroom was locked. Seeing no other option, the man entered the store's beer cave, where he found a corner, made himself look like he was eyeballing the product, and relieved himself right then and there. Unfortunately for him, the entire incident was caught on camera, including the more than $100 worth of product that he ruined after it was deemed unsellable.
Come on, man.
He was.
Come on, man.
You're better than that.
It's beer.
Go around the back of the store.
Or pee in the vegan section.
Exactly. Like, really, the beer cave?
It's a convenience store. You only have a beer walk-in cooler.
Right.
Just go outside.
Come on, man.
Go in the bushes.
You get less trouble if somebody caught you doing it in the bushes. Like,
I can guarantee you.
Another news, let's go to Japan, where a man's family didn't show up to his wedding. He had been dating his bride for upwards of 10 years before they decided to tie the knot. His lovely lady had gotten him out of a depression and was truly the one that he couldn't see himself living without. So he was understandably less than happy when his family didn't show up to his wedding. However, one could point to his self-described fictosexual orientation that led to them excusing themselves from the wedding between him and his holographic musician of a wife.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not weird at all.
That's not
No alimony.
That's a fact. I mean, they probably might not even get divorced.
She signed a prenup.
She did not. Did she really?
Okay. In his mind. Right.
Right. I mean,
he married an inanimate object.
I'm aware of that.
He can do whatever he wants.
I'm just saying, was that part of it before the IDs were sent? Was that a prenup was signed?
He gets to keep the dog, man.
Criminy. We go to Ohio. Where a woman committed one of the most heinous of crimes. A man was out to dinner at a restaurant when he felt the call of nature and went into the bathroom. While standing at the urinal and underway, an unknown woman entered the bathroom and assaulted the man unprovoked by stabbing him with a knife twice in the buttocks.
Unknown meaning he did not know her.
Right. Had no idea who she was.
And why?
Just walked in and stabbed her.
Pretty much. Yeah. She fled the restaurant, but a witness caught a photo of her car as she drove off, and she was apprehended. The man is recovering well, but his wounds did require
If you're going to get stabbed, that's not a bad place.
No.
It'd be my top choice. Sometimes I'm going to stab you.
You're
Stab my
more
ass.
than likely going to live.
Right. It's just...
I just don't want to have to tell people I got stabbed in the butt.
Right.
While peeing.
About to say, it gets even worse than just stabbed in the butt.
Unless you're in a gay club.
Then it means something.
You're ready to roll.
Oh, yeah.
A man in Illinois went about renovating his bathroom when he came across an interesting discovery. The renovation called for the removal of the plaster walls, which were taken down to reveal a rag wrapped around a bag of McDonald's.
All right.
Given the amount of time that they owned the home, the original design packaging, and just simple logic, he assumed that the bag had been there since the home was built back in 1959.
Damn.
Yeah, drywall guys are famous for putting a hidden treasure in your house before they leave.
What's worse is he says the fries are still plenty crispy. Don't know why he checked, but
These are still good, dude. Yeah, but this is before preservatives and everything else.
Yeah.
This is the golden arches era of McDonald's.
But it's all sugar. I mean, that goes part, right? It just it coalesces, it clumps, it stays the same.
Exactly. Let's go to Scotland, where a Macallan fan made quite the investment. Back in 1988, the man had bought a 100-gallon cask of Macallan whiskey from the distillery, but was too busy to go and pick it up. Somehow, the fact that he bought this cask slipped his mind, and it was forgotten for the next 30-odd years. The man finally got a notice from the distillery that it was still there, waiting for him to pick it up. Having lost the drive to consume such a massive amount of whiskey, he put it up for grabs. That's when the cask he bought for a hefty $6,300 at the time in 1988 sold at auction for a whopping $1.2 million.
The thing I like about the story is that distilleries go, hey, man, it's been 3 decades. You still have your stuff.
Come get it.
Right? We still have you labeled to pick it up.
Whiskey, Bitcoin.
Right.
And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you up next for the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app.
Yes, indeed, it's all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please, do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.